Disney Vibes Podcast, talking insider tips, tricks, and pixie dust. For the most magical place on earth, here's Andrew and Heather.
Welcome to episode 14 of the Disney Vibes Podcast. I am your host, Andrew.
And I am the co-host.
Not the assistant this week?
No, not today.
It's going to vary week to week.
Well, no, I could also be like the Minnie to your Mickey, the Daisy to your Donald, but at this purposes, I'll be the co-host.
I'll just call you Clarabelle and call it a day.
Oh, no. No, not okay.
Disney Vibes is brought to you by Magical Destinations Travel. Find us on the web at bookmdtravel.com. You like the podcast, spread the word, and want to show some support. One of our magical agents can assist you in planning your most perfect vacation. There's no obligation ever for a free quote and no cost to you ever. And we do appreciate if you download the Disney Vibes podcast wherever you get your podcast from. If you like the content, help us out, provide feedback and a rating as well, and we appreciate your support.
Thank you, thank you.
That's it. And just a side note, we are always expanding our team. So if you love all things Disney, Universal, cruises, and so forth, please reach out to us on the socials or via our website. And if you would like to get some more information regarding joining, what's the ins and outs of becoming an independent travel agent, please feel free to reach out, and we will definitely get you hooked up. So here's what's happening.
What's happening?
A lot of cruise news. Cruise news. Now, before we get into the cruise, I do want to say we talked about ground transportation, I don't know, a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
Disney is now offering private ground transportation again, directly through the Walt Disney World Travel Company. Now, it's not the Magical Express. Mears did take that over. They do have Sunshine Flyer, all of those third-party bus companies. But private ground transportation to and from Walt Disney World Resort is now available as a package add-on, so your travel agent can definitely help you out with that through the Walt Disney Travel Company. And there's several options available. There's exclusive vans, there's sedans, SUVs, executive limousines, and stretch limousines. Now, when we talk about those, you know the difference, Heather?
An executive and a stretch?
Where's the Jeopardy theme?
Stretch is longer.
Well, okay. I wonder what gave that away.
Well, hey now, an executive, I really don't. Maybe like a town car.
Hey, ding, 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 ding.
Yes!
That's correct. It would probably be a Lincoln Town Car. But so those options are available, and it can be booked up to 5 days prior to arrival. And they are having round-trip transportation from Orlando International Airport to your hotels. And it's also, which I thought was great, they're also going to have some through the other airports. So Sanford, so sometimes you don't fly in directly into Orlando International.
Right.
So there's both one-way and round-trip fares are available. And here's the thing. They do have one complimentary car seat available for children 5 years old and under. Their additional car seats can be subject to availability. And I did want to mention the one thing is cost. I mean, they keep changing cost. However, my thought is this could be beneficial if you are staying strictly on Disney property. If you're going to go out and explore the greater Orlando area, you could rent a car. But, and car rentals, the prices have kind of, subsided, come back to, some reality.
Right.
I looked it up. It was like $153 for a week coming up in February, just as a comparison.
Okay.
For like a Santa Fe, like a small SUV. But keep in mind, so that price, for the car is cheaper than the private ground transportation. However, you have to pay for parking.
Right.
So if you're not leaving,
per day.
it is. It's like $25-$30 a day. DVC members excluded, or annual pass holders, depending upon certain situations. But for the majority of people, you would have to pay for parking. So again,
yeah, I don't know. I mean,
depends on how much you're driving around.
Right.
Because otherwise, Uber and Lyft and all those other ones will add up quickly.
Right.
So,
I mean, I can understand if you are maybe just getting from point A to point B, but not going to each park. Like, just keep it at your resort.
Yeah, but again, so that's 200. Let's say it's $30 a day. That's $210 on top of your round trip transportation.
I understand that, but just saying, like,
if
you
the
are
math
bringing,
fact, it's a Jeopardy thing right there.
Stop it! If you're bringing your car or a car and
renting a car,
if you're renting a car, Just leave it at your resort, and then you can use the Disney transportation.
Well, right. That's one of the biggest benefits. We're going to talk about, we ran out of time last week. We're going to talk about our show, the episode focus in a little bit. But yeah, is really, that's the simplicity of it all.
Right.
Between, the monorail, the buses, the boats, the Skyliner, you name it. It makes it easy to get to and from wherever you got to go, throughout the Disney World resort area. You raised your hand.
No, I had an itch.
This is what I deal with, folks.
Oh, boy.
Last week it was raising hands. Now it's just an itch. So now I'm going to get yelled at when I don't call on her. Anyways,
Moving on.
Yep. So I don't want to say sad news. I don't want to say disappointing news. To a degree, but it's just delayed. That's all.
We're not surprised. Put it that way, too.
Right. So Disney Wish inaugural sailing has been delayed until mid-July. We know that's the latest ship.
Right.
We've seen all the details as the Disney Wish has been revealed, and the Meyer Werft shipyard, they've been putting all of their work into this magnificent new ship and bringing it to life, and we're all awaiting that ship's debut, but the anticipation is going to unfortunately have to extend a bit longer than initially planned. So the shipyard has officially notified DCL that despite their very best efforts, they need to move. They need more time to finish the ship, due in part to the pandemic and particularly the arrival of the variant, which has kind of shut down some of their production in Germany. So they had to delay the maiden voyage by a few weeks, which is going to regrettably affect sailings through mid-July. So DCL, if you have been booked on the Disney Wish, they are sending emails to guests on the sailings to share that disappointing news and give you the options available to make vacation memories as well. So nothing, they did it right. DCL is doing everything right in their power. So guests who were booked on the original maiden voyage are automatically shifted to the new sail date of July 14th at a 50% discount.
Wow.
If they are unable to move to the new sail date, they have the option of either a 50% discount on a future cruise departing by December 31st, 2023, or it'll be converted to a future cruise credit or a full refund. So you have options if it really doesn't work with your schedule. However, a lot of, those are those hardcore fans, DCL for the inauguration.
Right.
So they're gonna go. They're gonna go. Their inaugural sailing, they're gonna go.
Right.
So they've also halted all booking on those on the Disney Wish until they have gotten everybody, who wanted to book a new sailing. But starting February 8th, they will reopen that. So it's been on pause. But all the itineraries, you're not going to see them online. So you would have to actually contact your travel agent to get the downloadable list of itineraries. So the one thing I will say is I'm a huge DCL fan.
Mm-hmm.
Our kids still talk about it.
They do.
Can't wait to go again. Can't wait.
I'd go tomorrow if we could.
Yeah, and there's some challenges.
Right. I mean,
they're requiring.
In a perfect world, if things were not, pre-pandemic, like we would go. 100%.
Yeah, and the Disney Wish is the short trips. It's not the 7 days. It's a 3-day and a 4-day, 3-night, 4-night, or 3-day, 4-day, whatever. That you would be, they're going. So it sails the entire week, right? But it's two different itineraries. One's a 3 and one's a 4.
Okay.
So it is going back and forth. And then obviously it's at a Port Canaveral. But I do think it's exciting. It's just exciting. Sorry, I'm excited. I can't wait to go. Once the time for us to be able to go has come about.
Right.
So hopefully this summer, maybe there's a chance, slight possibility.
There is. We've been investigating, so we'll see.
And then we'll definitely report back on it. The other thing is DCL guests recently recovered from COVID-19 may qualify to be considered as 90-day recovered. So basically, long story short, if you've tested positive within 11 to 90 days of your sail date, you may be qualified to be considered as a 90-day recovered if you have the appropriate documentation and subsequent approval, and you're not required to participate in the COVID-19 testing during the pre-sail, embarkation, or disembarkation of your voyage. So again, listen, pre-pandemic, we went on Disney Cruise Line on the Fantasy, had a fantastic time, and they literally hunted you down if you didn't wash your hands in your way to the dining room.
I know. That was the first time I ever really seen any type of venue, I guess, per se, have, as many hand sanitizers as they did. Like, it just before you would enter into, a dining area, they had like a row of them like going across. And that, and I just thought that was interesting because it's not every day that we've seen that. And we've been on other cruise lines where we did not see that either.
Right.
So
now, I mean, again, a lot of them amped up their protocols, since the pandemic and since reopening, however, and sailing. But again, Disney just does things differently. And, that's not to take anything away from, we've been on Norwegian and Carnival and Royal Caribbean and all of them, and they're fantastic. I mean, I love cruising. And honestly, now, if you look at cruising, the best of both worlds would be to do a short cruise like on the Wish when they rebook, and then a couple days in the parks, because everything's included on a cruise.
Right, it's all inclusive.
So the price difference used to be there was a wider gap. Okay. The gap is not as wide anymore with pricing, for that. But again, 50th anniversary, there's a lot of things that go into part. Age, some people don't like to be, they feel like they're stuck on a ship, but these things are massive in size, and right now with the percentage of people, I want to say they're at like 40% capacity.
So I think
that's like a private boat.
Right. So I want to say that one of the numbers that, it could hold 4,000 people, and there was like 1,200 and people attending.
Right. So that's 25%, a little 30%.
So just 34. The fact of that matter is that people feel like it is almost like their private yacht.
Right. Yeah. I mean, they're huge as it is, and I wouldn't say you felt overcrowded anyway. When they were at full capacity, but now forget it. Yeah. I mean, and so just specifically with the Disney Wish, we talked about their 3-night and their 4-night. Basically they're going to have a day at sea. That's the difference. They're still going to go to Castaway Cay. They're both going to go to the Nassau Bahamas. That's kind of where it sails, and all of the dates have been released for 2022 and 2023. So very exciting news, with the Disney Wish. If you want that or any, information regarding a trip on the Disney cruise, any Disney ship, please reach out to us, bookmdtravel.com. All right, so for this week, I do want to discuss something that we were going to try to get to last week, but for lack of or too much time, I wanted to save time. We're going to, it's almost like part 2. But last week we talked about all the benefits of early theme park entry at Disney World. This week we want to talk about the extended evening hours.
The PM hours.
That's right. So basically, very similar to early theme park entry, extended evening theme park hours is an on-site perk for guests staying at a deluxe resort or Disney Vacation Club villas and select other hotels at Walt Disney World. So the big thing with that is it's not for everybody. It's on site, but you have to be staying at either a deluxe resort, DVC villas, or select other hotels at Walt Disney World. So basically, it's the indirect replacement for evening extra magic hours, and it's the counterpart that we were just talking about to the early theme park entry. But there's a lot of differences between the morning and evening extra time in the park. So for example, extended evening theme park hours has a smaller pool of eligibility and also occurs less frequently. So it's not every day like it was.
Right.
So the nighttime benefit is exclusively for guests staying at Walt Disney World Deluxe Resorts, DVC units, and other select hotels, so like Swan and Dolphin and Shades of Green. Guests that are staying at value or moderate resorts are not eligible for the extended evening hours. I'm still trying to wrap my head around how they police this. I'm going to be honest with you.
Yeah.
How you kick someone out of the park? Like, I don't.
I know. I can't. I mean, I don't want to be in that position, but I would imagine it has to do if they try to go on something and they're fat and they're.
So they're not kicking them out. They're just not letting you on the rides, I guess.
I guess so.
Still spend the money on Main Street, go to the confectionery,
right.
Get the balloon that pops in 5 minutes, whichever.
$22 balloon.
Yeah. But so extended evening theme park hours has 2 types of eligibility. It occurs 2 nights per week, and it's at 2 parks and runs for 2 hours. That's a lot of 2. There was 4 twos there. But that's, pretty much everything about the perk occurs in 2s. It's usually every Monday at Epcot and every Wednesday at Magic Kingdom. So for planning purposes. And again, remember, early entry is at all 4 theme parks every single day and runs for 30 minutes. And every on-site resort guest is eligible for early theme park entry, including those third-party on-property hotels. However, The extended one is those specific ones. The other big difference is you can really accomplish a tremendous amount during the extended evening hours. And when we talk about the price of Genie Plus or individual lightning lanes, that could add up very quickly. Now, depends on what level of accommodations you feel comfortable paying for and staying at. It's going to be a lot more costly for staying at a deluxe resort versus a value or even a moderate, pending. But it depends on what you like. I'm a big fan of the deluxe resort, so I can't knock them, but I don't know. Everybody's got their own specific, circumstances and situation. And I do think, you can actually get a lot done because, I don't think a lot of people know about it.
No, I didn't know that it was exclusive for, that tier of, guests. And the fact that it's 2 hours, that's a huge difference when you compare the extended hours to the early hours. Early hours, 30 minutes. Okay, fine. 2 hours?
It's a lot.
It is a long time.
And 50, I don't know if 50% of all the guests actually, that are staying at these resorts are going for the extended evening hours. They may not. They may not be going there, but a lot of people who have experienced it have literally said that the rides are walk-ons, which, again, that's going to save your time. Now, notice so far it has not been at Hollywood Studios.
All the parks, right?
And obviously Animal Kingdom.
Right.
The animals got to sleep. But Disney, when I say they have taken a lot of criticism because they're excluding those value and moderate resort guests. And I don't want to say you're creating 2 tiers of on-site hotel guests.
Sure.
But the optics of that's what it looks like.
I know. I'm torn because I think I heard the analogy or the example, if you go to a Broadway show and if you get tickets that are closer to the stage, what are you paying for? You're paying for the perk of being up close, and it's going to be more expensive. So therefore, sort of the same where you want to experience, more perks perhaps. You stay at a resort that is,
A deluxe.
Correct.
You pay more, you get the better
more.
seat. You get the better seat for the show.
Right.
Good analogy from the teacher right there.
That's
Look at that.
Thank you.
I guess you can be the co-host this week.
Oh, wonderful.
But, when we talk about the creating the 2 tiers of on-site hotel guests, the claim would be it's the exact same thing when we talk about early park entry because you have off-site versus on-site guests with the early entry benefit. So no one likes losing access to a perk, but the reason the extended evening theme park hours are enjoyable is because it's limited to that small subset of guests. So if you are willing to spend, and remember, I know I'm going off the rails here. Let's say you want to, if you can plan very well with your agent, you can stay at a moderate for Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Right.
And then stay at the deluxe resort Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
Right. I didn't think of that. You're so smart, Andrew.
Thank you. Thank you very much. But they're crowded. They're not really crowded. And, if they were, then it would not be as much of a perk and they'd have to, re-examine it. It only occurs 2 nights per week, consolidates those crowds into that single evening for those specific parks. But I don't think that a lot of guests are taking advantage of this. And that was true even during the peak season that just, has passed in the summer. It's definitely a value-added perk in the sense that you're paying for what you get. You're going to be able to make the most of it in without breaking the bank. Booking those hotels, those deluxe hotels, and I think if you split your stay, that's kind of a great option.
That's a great, yeah, absolutely. Best of both worlds.
Yeah, book the Swan and Dolphin, which is very comparable in cost to a moderate resort, but you get the perk.
Sure.
So that's something that you can do, and splurging on those 2 nights on those deluxe resorts or 3 nights, however it is. Split stays is another episode because there are a ton of benefits. You can get, multiple hotels and multiple viewpoints, and depending upon your plan of attack. And Disney moves everything for you. So you just repack your suitcase. I know some people hate that, but we did it. We left Wilderness Lodge and we went to Beach Club. And you leave in the morning, you go to your park, you go get back to your new resort. You get the alert on your My Disney experience, and then my room's ready.
Yeah.
And everything, I think it was at Bell Services, right? Or
I want to say like our groceries, I think, were there.
Well, that's it.
Least.
Well, we added, that's another caveat, which we did talk about, is we bought more groceries. Well, we brought groceries that we had not finished, and we bought new groceries that were delivered straight to Beach Club.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, let's think about it. You take a 2-night stay, you check in on a Monday and out on a Wednesday. You can take advantage of both extended evening hours. You check out of that Wednesday, but you're still technically checked out that day. You're still on there.
Right.
So it's still only 2 nights.
Right.
Yeah, so treat yourself. That's kind of what it comes down to. But yeah, the theme park hour schedule, again, it's Mondays, Wednesdays, some Fridays, but it's strictly limited to Magic Kingdom, Epcot. There are some dates coming with Hollywood Studios.
Ooh.
So far, everything I've seen on the website, I've only seen the schedule out to about end of April, middle of April, and Hollywood Studios is only listed once, but they don't normally participate in it. Not a huge surprise, because they were never staples of the evening extra magic hours, pre-pandemic. But that's changing. Hollywood Studios will be participating, and we don't know if it's going to happen time from time. And that's huge, just because foot traffic-wise, between Star Wars and everything, I don't want to say it's the busiest park, but it's close.
I would say so. I mean, it's got the latest attractions.
Right. Yeah. I mean, until Tron opens up.
Right.
Comparing it to Magic Kingdom specifically. But those rare nights, and it's going to be something that I would highly recommend taking advantage of if you're able to do so. So let's talk, specific hotels. We say deluxe resorts. We talk about Disney Vacation Club and deluxe villa resorts. So there's 2 options. And again, if you're not familiar with DVC and the deluxe villa resorts, the difference between deluxe resorts and deluxe villa resorts. So even if you're not a member of DVC is basically Disney's spin on a timeshare. Right? And you, as anybody, can stay based on availability in those resorts, in those villas. It's just you pay for the deluxe villa resorts. And when we say villas, so for example, you have the studios. They typically, depending upon the resort, they can sleep 5. You have 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom, 3 bedroom. So it's a lot more spacious. 1 bedroom and up, full kitchens,
right?
Full laundry. Heather's favorite.
Amenities. Oh my gosh, it was lovely having access to laundry. Our laundry was free, right?
In a DVC resort, correct? Yes. Yeah. Laundry is free in a DVC resort. You do have to bring. They only give you one sample.
Give you, your
laundry.
You
bring your pods.
Your pods and your dryer sheets.
And you're good to go. It is free, and even in a studio, you don't have it in room.
No.
But it's located throughout the resort, so you do have that option. That's another episode, another tip and trick when it comes to laundry. Not that you want to spend your entire vacation doing laundry, but it was pretty glorious that Heather had completed all laundry before we came home. And what did we do?
We packed it into my little cube.
Yeah, that's another episode.
I know. And then honestly, everything was put away within, I'd say, no more than 2 hours.
Easiest unpacking ever.
100%.
You don't have the piles of laundry to go through, and just depressing.
Game changer.
Yeah. So extended evening hours, eligible Disney-owned hotels. Let's talk deluxe resorts. Disney's Animal Kingdom Lodge, Disney's Beach Club Resort, Boardwalk Inn, Contemporary Resort, Grand Floridian Resort and Spa, Polynesian Village, Wilderness Lodge, and Yacht Club. So those are the deluxe level resorts. And then we have the Disney Vacation Club and Deluxe Villa Resorts. And typically what it is they are just on one side of the resort. They're kind of split. They do have villas and they have regular rooms as well. We have Bay Lake Tower at Contemporary Resort, Boulder Ridge Villas at Disney's Wilderness Lodge, Copper Creek Villas and Cabins at Disney's Wilderness Lodge, Disney's Animal Kingdom Villas at Jumbo House and Animal Kingdom Villas at Kidani Village. You have Beach Club Villas, Boardwalk Villas, Old Key West Resort, Polynesian Villas and Bungalows, Riviera Resort. That's strictly a DVC, but you can book it, but it's all DVC rooms. And you have Saratoga Springs Resort and Spa and the villas at Disney's Grand Floridian Resort and Spa. And then we have the eligible third-party hotels, Walt Disney World Swan Hotel, Walt Disney World Dolphin Hotel, Walt Disney World Swan Reserve, which is one of their the latest ones, and Shades of Green. So, and again, those, depending upon the time of year, can be priced at more of a moderate range. Again, ask your travel agent. They'll be more than happy to get you a quote for those. So,
I have a question.
Yeah. Oh, wait, you didn't raise your hand.
No, I didn't raise my hand.
You didn't itch?
I didn't. No, I'm good. But so I know you're saying that, especially when you just mentioned Riviera, that people can stay there. Do they have to stay if they are purchasing points elsewhere, or is it they could just
pay money?
Okay.
Yep, pay money.
Got it.
We can book it for you.
Yes, we can.
BookMDTravel.com. All right, so the attractions, Magic Kingdom, extended evening theme park hours attractions. And I really, looking at this list, you can get a lot done in 2 hours. Yeah. Yeah.
What is it missing? That's my question.
You got to give me a minute. Splash Mountain.
No, it's there.
What?
Splash Mountain. Alphabetical order. Seven Doors Mine Train, Splash Mountain.
That's Space Mountain. Read correctly. Good grief.
Friends, it's a Monday. I'm just saying.
Anyways, what's included? It's a Small World, Astro Orbiter, Big Thunder Mountain Railroad, Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger Spin, Country Bear Jamboree, Dumbo the Flying Elephant, Haunted Mansion, Mad Tea Party, Mickey's Filler Magic, Monsters, Inc., Laugh Floor, Peter Pan's Flight, Pirates of the Caribbean, Prince Charming, Regal Carousel, Seven Dwarfs Mine Train,
Space Mountain,
Swiss Family Treehouse, The Barnstormer, Magic Carpets of Aladdin, Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh, Tomorrowland Speedway, Under the Sea, Journey of the Little Mermaid, and Walt Disney's Enchanted Tiki Room. So, yeah, I don't know what else would be missing from there. I'm trying to think.
Space Mountain.
I don't have any.
Nothing is coming to mind.
No, I think that's all of them. Epcot, Beauty and the Beast Sing-Along, Frozen Ever After, Grand Fiesta Tour starring the 30 Caballeros, Mission Space, Remy's Ratatouille Adventure, Soarin', Spaceship Earth, Test Track, and the Seas with Nemo and Friends. So, really, the best bang for your buck. If you're only going to stay at a deluxe, let's say 2 nights, right? Make sure it's a Magic Kingdom night. Because I do think the Epcot, we talk about that same thing with Genie Plus. You can get a lot of those. You may have to wait a little bit for Remy's or Frozen, but I think you can get those. And then Hollywood Studios, this is subject to change. Alien Swirling Saucers, Mickey Minnie's Runaway Rail, Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run, Rock and Roller Coaster starring Aerosmith, Slinky Dog Dash, Star Tours, The Adventure Continues, Star Wars Rise of the Resistance, to be determined. But that's what we're kind of thinking. Twilight Zone, Tower of Terror. Imagine going on that at night.
I would love it. It's my favorite ride ever.
That's crazy.
Sign me up, front seat.
Yeah, and Toy Story Mania. So not all of the attractions are available during extended evening hours, but there's very few. Minor exceptions. This is very identical to what was included in the old evening extra magic hours, with the headliners being the emphasis. And the schedule, the available attractions, everything is subject to change. The theme park days, times, operation, basically just, going to give you that little caveat that things can change very, very quickly. So we talked about eligibility. So here it is. To validate the eligibility, cast members are stationed outside each attraction entrance, scanning your magic band, hotel room key. Unlike early entry, this happens at every single attraction throughout the night, not just once upon arrival, every night. That's because other guests are already in the parks, and that's the only feasible way to determine who can ride the attractions, since they're not clearing the parks at the start of extended evening hours.
I would hate to be that cast member.
Yeah, it's
that's a tough job.
Side note, please be nice to the cast members.
Oh, my God. Yes.
The horror stories that we hear, they are doing everything in their power to make your vacation. They're just doing their jobs.
Right.
And without Disney has not been able to get their full staff back to pre-pandemic levels. Without these cast members, customer service would be even further down the list. and they always go above and beyond. So I know it can be frustrating, especially after a long, sweaty day, walking 9 miles or whatnot, but cool down. You're in the evening and enjoy yourself. Go to the confectionery, get Starbucks for Heather, right?
Or ice cream.
Whichever, right. I mean, all the food places, they're not going to say you can't buy food.
Oh, absolutely not.
Get online for that, Figment popcorn bucket or whatever it is for a couple of hours. But just, again, be nice to the cast members. They're just doing their job. I would say, from a strategy standpoint, you start with less popular attractions, finish with more popular ones. In theory, those who are going to go to those extended evening hours early on are going to hit
the more popular rides first.
That's right. So do the rides in reverse order of wait time. And just keep in mind, 2 hours will go by quickly.
Mm-hmm.
And, you don't want to waste any of that time on attractions that, will have minimal daytime waits, if you're in that park the same day. And if you, I don't know, I guess you could couple that with Genie Plus and Lightning Lane usage.
I wonder if you do that, will it give you those time frames at the extended hours?
That's a great question. I don't know if the app's smart enough. Yet.
Right,
Power of yet. But guests who are eligible for the extended evening hours probably do not need to buy the individual Lightning Lanes.
Right.
And I would instead backload those attractions into the end of the evening. So I think that the AI is catching up. Again, it was just released, in conjunction with the 50th anniversary. But I would say it could. It knows what resort you're staying in. It doesn't know that, unless you tell it, that you're going to that park and staying late. But in theory, Magic Kingdom, your last 3 attractions should be Space Mountain, Peter Pan's Flight, and Seven Dwarfs Mine Train. With that order, that would make the most sense. So you want to try to time it. You get in line, Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, 5 minutes before the end of extended evening hours. Okay, don't worry about the posted wait time. It's going to be insignificant, and it's going to be inflated to discourage you from doing it because they want you to go home, right, until the next day. Epcot, you can end with Soarin', Test Track, Frozen Ever After, and Remy's. And, you can, same thing, last 5 minutes, set a timer, jump on Ratatouille, and call it a day. And then, you'll be able to go the long way around to exit the park if you're not going through the International Gateway. And then Hollywood Studios, depends upon Rise. If Rise is operating, without a virtual queue and, Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway is open, I would end the evening with Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway, Slinky Dog Dash, and then Star Wars Rise of Resistance in that order. And you're kind of, looping around that way.
Right.
And again, that's assuming Hollywood Studios is new to the extended evening hours. That's assuming that those are all going to be included. Specifically with Rise of the Resistance. It's a wild card. They need maintenance, with that experience. So that could take, a lot longer, to kind of get ready for the next day. So, all right. Ultimately, that's everything you need to know about the extended evening theme park hours at Walt Disney World Resort. What you do earlier in the night doesn't matter. It's whatever your heart desires. But as long as you set aside that sufficient time for those headliners that we're recommending, and as we go through and we get to, find the groove of it and see all the news and the socials will tell everybody out there what's going on. We will continue to update the strategy guide that, we're talking about with which rides to really, kind of focus in on at the end of the evening. So, Heather, any final thoughts?
No, just the fact of the matter is that if you have any of these questions, feel free to reach out to us and we'll hook you up with an agent, because this is what we will do. We are strategize with you. We will take all this information that we just, shared with you and customize it to make sure that we are meeting your needs and giving you the most magical experience possible.
That's it.
That's it.
What about the socials?
Oh, okay. So socials, hit us up on Instagram at Magical Destinations Travel Co., Facebook, Magical Destinations Travel, Twitter, Magical Dest Trav, and bookmdtravel.com.
That's it. Live life, do what makes you happy, and let the Disney vibes flow.
Find Disney vibes for all your vacation needs on the web at bookmdtravel.com.